1582, Spain and their possessions, Italy, Polish, Commonwealth, 1582, France, Netherlands, 1583, Austria, Netherlands, Hungary, Nova Scotia. And a lot of this was because, we don't like to admit it, but the Catholic calendar is a religious tool used by the Catholic Church. And, as you might find a large population of Catholics in this area, and it was like, it's almost like the US dollar, like, we're forcing you to do it, and if you don't want to do it, then guess what? You're not part of the quote-unquote civilized world. I wasn't there for when all this was happening. I'm just reading about it and thinking like, wow, this is totally crazy. And not that I could have invented a better calendar, but I wouldn't name it after pagan gods. And anyway, New Year's Eve means nothing to me because just like you, I didn't control my being born where I was. I could have been born anywhere. I could have just as easily been born in Saudi Arabia and growing up using the Islamic calendar, or anywhere else I mentioned, but as it were, I was born in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. My parents weren't Muslims. So why did the Roman calendar spread so widely around the world and not others? I think we've already talked about this. That's a great question, and if you were thinking it, pat yourself on the back or something. One of the many reasons is because, unlike the landlocked competition, Europeans had large coastal settlements and would therefore be quicker in boating technology and would be sooner to explore by sea than others, taking along with them their customs, holidays, and calendar. It's no secret that the Western world is largely inhabited by European immigrants. Our ancestors came to this continent and brought with them all sorts of crazy traditions and customs. And we sit here today to sort through all the lies inherited from our fathers. The funny part to me is, why did our quasi-Christian / Catholic ancestors toss out the Israeli Jewish calendar for a pagan Roman one? I mean, their Messiah didn't use it. He's their leader and teacher, right? But I suppose the iron rule of the Caesar and far-reaching Roman roads had much to do with that. No one wants to be crucified for being different, right? The common calendar we use is a tool and an invention of the Roman Catholic Church, and I'm not Catholic or Roman. So now you may start to see why New Year's means nothing to me. I don't remember choosing to be born in this specific time in history, nor do I remember making a choice to be born in Canada by the family I was born to. As a human, I have a free will to accept or not accept the vast array of tradition that is handed down to me at birth, and as far as the calendar and our common Western holidays go, I have rejected them as much as I could over 10 years ago. They don't resonate with me at all, nor do I care to carry on tradition of pagan holidays or ignorant religious trash to any future generation. You have a choice in this too, and you can use it to opt out if you want. Some may call this repenting, and if that's what it is, then I've repenting of celebrating New Year's and a whole lot more. Alright, take care. Have a good day. Now, the question that was brought up by my friend was, what did these countries on here, Korea adopted the Gregorian calendar. What did these, in 1896, what did these countries use beforehand? I think that's a question that would be better answered by these countries. I know that right now in Palestine, the Islamic calendar is used alongside the Gregorian one, and probably as a result of like peer pressure or pressure from the Catholic Church. I'm not entirely sure, but I know that the Catholic Church, authorized and invented ultimately what we use today, and the rest of the world has sort of adopted it. And not that that's wrong. I mean, if everybody's doing it, right? I guess that's the thing. I mean, you can make up your own calendar. At one point, I know that there are some cultures that use days, like day 1, day 2, day 3. The Israeli/Jewish, if you want to call it that, calendar predates the Roman calendar, and they'll use in Israel they'll use both. So I know I'm sort of the type where, like, why are we using both? Let's just stick to one or the other. Let's just stick to ours. Like all these other calendars, the Islamic calendar, Israeli, Hindu, Chinese calendar, sort of them. Most of them are, it seems to be like religious based, and you get these Western secular humanists who don't want anything to do with religion, but are stuck using this dragnet of the Catholic calendar. we're born into this and we don't even realize it. We don't even realize that the very days of the week that we live in are pagan. And much to the surprise of somebody who wants to live like a spiritual or godly quote-unquote life, they realize, wow, we're surrounded by these pagan entrapments around us, like literally named after pagan gods. They don't use that word like flippantly. What you call pagan gods, look it up, look the definition of pagan gods. Like, this is what, as far as modern Judeo-Christianity, even Catholicism, like, the days of the week are named after pagan gods. It's not an exaggeration at all, and when you take the first and second commandments into consideration, it's like, what were these people thinking? What were our ancestors thinking? And what the Catholic Church was thinking was make everything generalized and universal and Catholic, because all they want is the power over them. So, like, they adopted Christmas, Easter, and all the Norse traditions, all the crazy things that Valentine's Day, they Catholicized. You can read in the Catholic history's own encyclopedias. They Catholicized everything, every tradition that you would already have, and made it Catholic, because then they could have control over you. Because, hey, you need to do whatever you want, do whatever you want. Everybody likes to hear that. I could keep talking on this forever. So I was trying to keep it short in the first place, and I'm trying to keep it short now. My point is, research for yourself. Research your own answers. If you have a question, type it into an internet search and see what comes up. Not that I don't appreciate your emails, but I've spent the last 10 years, better of 10 years, probably 11 or 12 years, researching modern history and ancient history and religious history, and this is what I do for fun. So that's my thing. Some people watch football. Some people go get drunk and party, and I study and play music and work. Alright, peace out.